Hi, welcome to this short video on helping you work with guests who have disabilities and exceptional needs. In this video, we're going to take a look at attitudes and outlooks, throwing techniques, and understanding limitations. Let's get started. First off, we want to make sure that we're looking at persons with disabilities or exceptional needs as valuable guests. Sure, they may pose some interesting challenges when teaching how to throw a hatchet or an axe, but then again, isn't that the pride of being a lane coach, is that we can teach anybody how to hit that bullseye? Secondly, and really importantly, persons with disabilities are somebody's brother or sister, mother or father, good friend, and when they don't feel welcome, the person booking that group isn't going to book with you. Why? Because they're not going to exclude somebody from their personal community and leave them out in the cold. So, along with being the right thing to do, being welcoming to persons with disabilities is just good business. If you're ever feeling awkward or out of your element, that's okay. Things that are new are often challenging and unusual. It's okay to say to a person with disabilities, "This is new for me, it's a first time. Let's work on this together to find out what works for you." If your guests use a wheelchair or a walker, ask before touching it or trying to move any of it. The apparatuses are considered a part of them, and grabbing it might be a bit invasive. It's the same as someone trying to grab your arm and move you here or there. Also, grabbing someone with a visual impairment by the arm could startle them, so you want to be aware of how they function with their equipment. Apart from being just good business practice, we have to remember it's the law. By law, we have to enable persons with disabilities access to washrooms, to and from the parking lot, to any service counters we have, as well as enabling any service animals in the building, and give them the ability to use their access to cards for any helpers or aides.
First of all, remember every person is different. For example, a person with low vision, their sight could be different than another person's sight. A person with mobility issues could be different from one person to another person. Just remember, just ask.
Some people with visual impairments may have sensitivity to light, so on a bright day, you may want to choose a lane that is further away from a window. We want people to understand the target. Walking them up to the target to inspect it and back can be helpful. You may choose to use a light to illuminate the bullseye, since persons with low vision may be able to see particularly bright areas. Using reflective tape that you can shine a light onto from the hutch can work for this purpose. The low vision and fully blind can have a good mental image of the world around them, so once you orient them and find their throwing distance, they can do well with locking in and throwing consistently. One helpful tip is to place tactile tape on the ground to mark distances that they can feel with their feet.
With some people that throw with two hands, they'll end up landing on their knees for support.
Another solution for balance is to use a strap or a TheraBand for support. Gripping the frame of your chair or the cushion can act as your abdominal or your back muscles when you're throwing an axe.
For others who throw one hand, they will lean back in their chair for support when they throw. With some people who throw with one hand, they'll have a tendency to lean into the post for support.
So when I'm going to throw an axe, I like to kind of push the walker against something solid, and then I hold with one hand, and then I throw the axe. And then if that wasn't working, I could use a fence or a bar if it was there, and you could use it while you're throwing, for balance while you're throwing the axe. Have fun.
It's important to understand a person's limitations when it comes to safety. A person may not have the strength or the ability to throw a hatchet safely. At that point, it's your responsibility to address this with tact to ensure their safety. In the end, have fun and help others to have fun. After all, you're throwing axes. It doesn't get much better than this.